G'day there guys, Marky here, and welcome back to another episode of r/relationship advice. I do hope you enjoyed today's bloody good stories, and with that said, I want you to sit back, relax, chuck a prawn to the barbie, and let's get right into it. And while we're getting into it, I want you to finish the chores that you've been putting off right now. Let's go. Posted by user HauntingWing8451, titled, Am I the asshole for being distant from friends over their daughter's name? I, 35 female, Anne, am longtime friends with a married couple, 40 male and 42 female. I've been distant since the pandemic when their daughter was born, and they just confronted me about it an hour ago. I started distancing when the husband started judging me for not making my marriage work. There were extreme reasons that I left that I never really broadcast for my children's sake. Some was very public when I addressed it, but the rest I've kept quiet. But the most recent issue is that I lost a child when I was 18. She was born alive but survived only a few hours. I chose a name for her that I confided in them that was very special to me, a play on family names, but appropriate for a very unexpected and traumatic loss. They used the name for their daughter. I would have had no issue with this, but I found out in the Facebook announcement, which brought back some very painful and traumatic memories. I didn't say anything. I don't own the name, but I felt very disrespected that they chose not to even give me a heads up, especially as many in our friend circle know where they got it from, and I was put on the spot as far as my reaction. So I just distanced myself from them. Well, about an hour ago, I got a message from him that was very angrily worded. Apparently, he had been talking to a mutual friend about me and how I've shown no interest in their daughter, and he mentioned that them using the name without a heads up was very painful for me, and that it had put me on the spot because a lot of people had been asking for my reaction. He called me selfish and an asshole for trying to sully their joy with my pain and making everything about me, and that I should just get over it. She passed years ago. In my opinion, losing a child is something you never truly get over, and I was never rude. I never spoke badly of them or to them. I won't talk about it with anyone. I've just chosen to protect myself and to remain distant. I wanted them to enjoy their daughter. They struggled with infertility for years, and I am happy for them. It's just painful for me, and I felt very disrespected with how they handled it. Am I the asshole? Was I wrong to create distance in a 20-year friendship over this? Or was my reaction reasonable? Info, they used both the first and middle name down to the spelling. The only difference is the last name. The name was a made-up mix of my mum and grandpa's names, and the middle name was my nickname from them as a child. My mum passed away when I was a child, and my grandpa who raised them after my mum passed 3 months before my daughter did. In the comments, quote, should just get over it. She passed years ago. This person is not your friend. Time to distance yourself permanently, not the asshole. OP replies, I haven't responded to his email. I'm waiting until I'm calmer, but I can't say that I plan to be kind. There will definitely be a clear boundary that they are never to contact me again. I wish them well, but they definitely do not continue to have any place in my life. OP, my heart goes out to you for what you've been through. Your reaction and feelings are very reasonable. Definitely do not be kind to that person or allow them close to you anymore. I would even take a screenshot of that email for reference in case anyone in your friend group tries to say that you are overreacting. And OP replies, thank you. I forwarded the email to another friend with a clear statement of my boundaries with them going forward, and made absolutely sure that they are blocked on everything. I also removed myself from any group chats or Facebook groups that we were all in. No one's very happy with them right now. She should be honored. This sounds like some dumb childish shit. Oh, you took my name. Maybe they didn't hit her up because she's emotionally draining, or just have their own lives, or it slipped. She hit them up tripping out. I'd tell her to piss off as well. OP replies, I'm not even entirely sure you read the post. I went radio silent after their name announcement. He's angry because I won't talk to them or about them. I certainly never hit them up tripping out, as you so eloquently put it. He hit me up tripping out. I distanced myself because even I didn't realize how upsetting just hearing her name would be. Hearing it and being expected to associate it with another child, then having to deal with it while people are blowing up my phone, coming to my house, coming to my job, asking me about it, was a lot on my mental health. After that, it just wasn't worth the drama to bring up or be around them. How in God's name is their conduct an honor? For a child they never met, never mourned, and never cared about? I think the main part for me is that they don't have to get your blessing to use a name. OP replies, they didn't need my blessing. My issue is that I wasn't allowed to process hearing my daughter's full name again for the first time since her funeral privately. I had to do it with my phone blowing up with messages, people coming to my home wanting to talk about it, and people at work asking me about it. Consideration would have been a text or a phone call a day or so ahead of time, letting me know that they were using the name and letting me process, instead of being shown the post by a coworker. It's not a common name. It was one that I made up, combining my mum and my grandpa's name, and the middle name was my nickname from them as a child. Both had passed a few months before my daughter. Not the asshole. That's just crazy, honestly. People are so numb. The fact that you distance yourself shows that you're not trying to make it about you and sully their joy or whatever. Get rid of them. Terrible people. I'm sorry that happened to you. OP replies, it seemed insensitive, but not malicious at first. Now it just seems like they're trying to erase where their name originated. Not the asshole. There is something seriously wrong with a couple doing what they did. Because they know they effed up when they didn't ask your consent to use this name. Technically, no one owns a name, but now the friend circle is finding out they never even asked for your opinion on it or how it might impact you. It's taken a year to filter through the social circle, and now they're getting the tough questions from your real friends. Meanwhile, they're trying to backtrack and make it seem like you never cared enough to warrant asking? From your other comments so far, I think you're doing the right thing with not responding and letting one of your friends pass along your statement/boundary. Meanwhile, I wish you the best in your future endeavors. I'd still post the email to their Facebook announcement, but I'm a spiteful person. You need to make this distancing a permanent thing. Telling you to get over your child's death is an absolute deal breaker, and you need to sink that ship fast. No turning back after that statement. Move on, OP. Concentrate on healing, not the asshole. OP replies, yeah, I'm done. At this point, everyone else in the group is meeting at my place tomorrow, and most of us are completely done with them after this. You also never owed them your friendship. Friendship is a gift that you give, not something that someone can insist upon. And judging you on your divorce? Who does that to a friend? He was never your friend. OP says, it's pretty obvious at this point. We were close a long time ago and friendly when we saw each other, but he had some views that I definitely disagreed with, especially when it came to relationships, parenting, and even things like child support. This is just speedrunning how to make your friend absolutely hate you challenge, and then what? I don't know, attacking them for not giving you the response you wanted? Also judging you on your divorce? That's not a friend. That is just someone who is psychopathic and is trying to tear you apart to get a reaction from you. What do you want? You want a fake YouTube reaction being like, oh my god, why are you doing this to me? I'm so sad. Oh my god, you're traumatizing me. Using all of the names that I used for my dead child. How could you do this? No! I want to know the thought process behind their angry email, because this is someone that has absolutely no shame. Do they expect you to remove your brain and just give them a reaction where somehow they're the good guy or something here? I don't know what they want. I'm enraged on your behalf, and I don't blame you for having no reaction, because how do you react to a situation like this besides saying nothing and wanting to stay out of it? This is why it's so hard to trust people with things that deeply affect you as a person, because you never know if someone's going to tell others about it or go as unhinged and extreme as this person has done to you, OP. Definitely not the asshole. I feel so incredibly bad for you. And now, onto the update. So, everyone's over at the house, and I mean everyone. Both of my friend groups came over. The friend D that I sent the screenshot to last night called everyone, and they are all furious. Her husband M called the former friend A and let him know that everyone is cutting ties with him and that he is to leave me alone. Everyone was under the consensus that while the way they handled the name was an issue, it wasn't a deal breaker since I just chose to remove myself and let it go. However, since he chose to attack me unprovoked, simply for keeping a healthy distance, that is unforgivable. This is entirely their own reaction. I didn't demand they cut ties with him. However, keep in mind that these people are the people closest to me. So when I called D last night, I was simply reaching out for support and to calm down because my knee-jerk reaction was to say, if you want to go low, I'll go lower, which is very out of character for me. I made it very clear that I was not continuing any contact with A and his wife, but I was not going to dictate their friendships and love them whether they stay friends with them or not. In the comments, One Bean says, I wonder if A was more OP's husband's friend than OP's friend, because it sounds like he doesn't like her at all. I'm wondering just how abusive OP's ex-husband was, from the way she doesn't want to talk about it. Yeah, there's a big chunk of this story missing, and it's all about the ex and his relationship with A. Wait, so they took names made with her family members' names put together for their daughter. Isn't that just weird? Like, it's not even a common name. Who just does that? They used the uncommon, family-based first and middle name of their friend's dead child for their baby. Absolutely unhinged behavior. I wonder how they expect to explain the name to the child. Like, Dad, why is my name so different? There's nobody else with this name. Well, you see, there was this one lady and she had a daughter 17 years before you were born. Anyway, the daughter died as a baby, but we kind of liked the name, so we just took it. So terrible to say that. Why can't people just be normal? So, yeah, we just took it, even though the name was extremely personal to this lady. Your first name being a unique mix of her deceased mother and her then recently deceased grandfather's names, plus your second name being the nickname that they had called her. We thought it was really cool to bring this name back to life and expected her to feel delighted, but for some weird reason, she got real quiet after we announced your name on Facebook. Then later, all of our mutual friends turned on us for no reason. Absolutely no reason at all. I am so glad to see a friend group that doesn't turn around and punish the victim and actually holds the problematic assholes accountable. Solid crew. Yes, that was a huge relief, and it actually makes me feel a little better for OP. Honestly, the husband's reaction confirms to me that the choice was made specifically to hurt OP, and that he was angry that OP didn't fall for the bait and lash out. It looks like they wanted to isolate her for some effing reason. My guess is that A wanted to use the name to get a reaction from OP. If she reacted, he can use it to point out to people that she was a terrible ex to her ex-husband. When OP opted to distance herself from A and his wife, he went nuts on her for foiling him. The good news is that OP is surrounded with friends who aren't as crazy as A, and when A's daughter asks him in the future about her name, well, I've had this happen in the moments. Someone get terribly angry that I stayed calm in the face of them obviously baiting me. They wanted ammo. I refused to provide it, and it made them even angrier, which is actually kind of fun to watch. Yeah, really, there isn't much that you should do in a situation like this besides stay stoic and not give them the reaction they want, because obviously their reaction to your no action was to lose their shit and out themselves as even worse than they already are. My headcanon theory is that the ex-husband has something to do with this, and he influenced them to smite her even more than he already had. Because, it's just such sane behavior to punch someone when they're already down. That's something that friends do, right? Steal from them in an attack that is the most personal and soul-crushing thing you could ever do, but also shows how unhinged and maniacal you are as a person. I am also so glad that OP's friend groups did not do this don't rock the boat thing. Hey, let's go with the crazies so the crazies don't turn on us. So glad that some people have a brain in this world and have empathy. I wish you nothing but the best, OP, and thank you for sharing your story with us. Our next post is by user PollutionPrior2939, titled, Am I the asshole for telling my husband's girl best friend that she can't host my baby shower? I, 22 female, and my husband, 23 male, got married young. I was 18 and he was 19. Both of us knew that we always wanted to get married and start a family young. I started college 2 years ago, and he just graduated with a Bachelor of Biomedical Science. My husband has a girl best friend, 23 female, who I'll call Sam, who he met in college. Both of them grew up Baptist, and while he's left the church, they had a very similar childhood and bonded quite quickly. Despite what you may be thinking, her and I actually got along very well. She and I like the same music, and we were both studying in relatively the same fields, so she became a friend of mine as well. Since I found out I was pregnant though, some issues have started to arise. We announced our pregnancy on social media after we told our parents. Sam texted my husband a congrats text and then told him to pass on her well wishes to me. She's been texting him non-stop with baby advice on what she'd like to call advice for mama, which includes sometimes relatively targeted jabs at what I should eat. Honestly, I keep brushing the texts off, but it got to a point where the conversations were less about the baby and more about me, which I was getting increasingly uncomfortable with because she wasn't texting me, she was texting my husband. My husband acknowledged this and has just started to show them to me and ask what I want him to do. I just told him to ignore them. When I announced I was having a baby shower and sent out the invites, I received a text from Sam. She said something along the lines of wanting to host my baby shower and set it up. I told her politely that my mum was planning on hosting it with the help of my sister and that it was a special moment for them, and I wouldn't want to take that away. Well, Sam ignored that message, because the next day, she came over and insisted that we start working out arrangements for the venue. I told her once again, my mum and sister were hosting it, and she told me that she should take her advice and let her plan it because she'd ensure that the baby shower would be better if she planned it, particularly because she would be working on the menu. Whether it was pregnancy hormones or just bottled up rage, I told her that the jabs she'd been making at me behind my back about my diet during this pregnancy to my husband are really annoying, and that no, she cannot host this shower, and from now on, her unsolicited advice was not appreciated, especially if she can't say it to my face. That night, my husband's phone blew up with messages from Sam saying that he had no right to show her those messages, and they were just supposed to be health tips because Sam was studying nutritional science and only wanted to help her best friend and ensure a happy baby and happy life. I know she had somewhat good intentions, and she's been a good friend to my husband and me, so am I the asshole? In the comments, responding to a downvoted commenter who brought up Sam is more knowledgeable about nutrition and maybe just trying to help, OP says, I decided to not read a lot of the messages that she sent simply because I didn't care. But according to my OBGYN, I'm eating perfectly normal things for a healthy pregnancy. I've always been on the skinnier side, and through high school, I was severely underweight. But when I got pregnant, I needed to eat more to sustain a healthy weight. I don't know if Sam knows that, but I do know that according to my doctor, I'm actually eating quite well so far. Are you Sam undercover? I have to ask. Look, I don't know her intentions, but you saying you have been and are still perhaps underweight, thanks for your unsolicited opinion on my body based on the small amount of information you have been given. I've been eating healthy and I'm now a healthy weight. As for the advice Sam was giving me, it's sound advice, yes. Medically, I'm sure it was perfectly normal advice. I'm not arguing with that. But my issue comes from her unsolicited comments, advice that was not ever given to me under the pretenses of being a good friend. The advice was given to my husband, and apparently I was not supposed to see it. I don't know if you yourself have ever been pregnant, but I'm going to assume no. Advice you don't ask for, comments on how you eat, what you eat. Everyone loves to put their 2 cents in, but as long as my doctor says I'm healthy and I'm eating healthy, then as far as I'm concerned, other people's opinions that I never asked for can shove off. OP adds extra info in the comments. Sorry I have to post this here due to character limits. Hi everyone, OP here. I just wanted to give some more context and info and answer a lot of your burning questions. Also, thank you for all the well wishes. Our baby girl is healthy and happy from what I've heard from our OBGYN. Okay, here goes. 1. Sam is in a short-term relationship. They've been dating for about 2 months, and he's nice. I haven't talked to him much, but from what I've gathered, he treats her well. 2. I was severely underweight for most of high school. My mum was always very thin, and so was I. But in high school, I suffered from an eating disorder for a while, and lost a lot of weight very quickly. For the past 3 years, I've been working with a therapist and food specialist to maintain a good diet, and that's not changed since pregnancy. My OBGYN is happy with my health and the health of the baby. Sam doesn't know this, only my close family, friends, and husband do. I don't share that info with many people because I don't find it necessary to. 3. Sam met my husband first before I met her. Husband and I had been dating for 3 years by then. We started dating in high school. She has never expressed interest in my husband that I know of. 4. It was not his choice to ignore the messages, but mine. Pregnancy has given me a lot of unnecessary stress, and I didn't want to add to that by causing more drama with people. So if it was his way, he would have shut her down. I told him not to because Sam has always been a passionate person, and I didn't think much about the messages when they first started. That has since changed. 5. What I found most weird about the situation was that I was apparently not allowed to see those messages, yet they were about me and how I was eating. Some of them were sort of snarky. The worst one I saw was along the lines of criticizing me for wanting McDonald's at 3 in the morning when apparently a Big Mac, a large fries, and a large vanilla thickshake is not healthy for the baby. I did cry a little bit after reading that, and my husband did send a text message saying that I was allowed to crave stuff during my pregnancy, which she ignored. 6. Husband and I are probably going to go low contact with her for a bit. Also, he rarely hangs out with her anymore, and if he does, he invites me. But I don't always go because I'm tired. 7. Edit. It was my choice to go low contact, not my husband's. Please stop criticizing him for this decision, as it wasn't his. I'm aware this post has now become a place where many people are insinuating that Sam and my husband may have something going on. I assure you they do not. My reasoning for going low contact and not no contact are my own, and it is what I am comfortable with at this moment. Thank you. Further in the comments, Teeny Sod says, not the asshole. Your instincts are right on this one. If the two of you got along so well, why wasn't Sam texting you directly with all of her helpful advice? This woman sounds like she's trying to insert herself between you and your husband in a really nasty and manipulative way. I think you need to have a serious discussion with your husband about boundaries. What did husband say after his phone blew up? Why would she text the husband about her and then say it wasn't meant for you to read? Exactly. This was the red flag to me. Why would a husband not share communications with a friend? It seems as though he sees Sam in that way, as he has been open with OP. Your husband had no right to show you those messages? I assume Sam isn't married. Healthy relationships don't have secrets. You are not the asshole. He needs to cut her off. Agree. I don't really want to be told anything that I'm not allowed to share with my spouse, but if someone texted me, here is advice specifically for your spouse, then are you not directly asking me to pass it on? When I say I won't tell anyone, my husband doesn't count. I will tell him anything and everything. Not the asshole. Sam overstepped massively to the point where it's clear that she has more than platonic feelings for your husband. If Sam was truly your friend, she would text you directly, listen to you, understand that advice doesn't have to be taken, not make this about her, and not get upset when you get shown the advice that should be meant for you. It's clear that Sam doesn't understand that there needs to be boundaries in the friendship. You and your husband have to be firm about what those boundaries are. This can't be a you or a him thing. You both have to be united in this. Not the asshole. She's messy. She really wanted him to hide the messages from his wife like it was some secret. Like she could talk about his wife and he not tell her. She's a toxic, messy person, and OP's husband did the right thing by letting her know. Ugh, these female besties irritate me to no end. They don't know boundaries, and it's like they think they're in competition with the wife. Obviously, there's a transparency within your relationship which she thought she could exploit. She needs to have several seats and leave OP and her husband alone. The husband needs to check her though. Like, seriously, check her. I know OP keeps saying, there's nothing going on with them, there's nothing going on with them. But, I don't know, so many red flags in the communication going on here that it does kind of feel like there's something going on with them. If not physical, definitely a bit of an emotional, affair, does it not feel like? I'm sure this female bestie knows there are boundaries that are not supposed to be crossed, but it seems as though she continues to cross them and not care, intentionally. I don't believe that this is unintentional. Why anyone would want a man to hide messages from his wife, if not for some emotional affair going on, unless it's, some DV situation. I understand that there are some situations where it's necessary and acceptable, but in this situation, absolutely not. I think OP picks up on the fact that she's bad news, and I think OP wants husband to pick up on the fact that she's bad news, but doesn't really know how to kind of broach that topic, especially with the pregnancy hormones going on. But she's just causing a lot more drama than you need right now, especially in the midst of a pregnancy, OP. I personally wouldn't be happy with a partner staying in communication with someone that's causing this much shit. I would probably ask for tough boundaries to be set up, if not cutting her out of our life. That's just me though, not the arsehole. And now, on to the updates. Hi everyone. First, I just want to thank you all for your support. Truly, it means the world. Okay, so hubby and I phoned Sam today and talked to her about the issues we were having with how she was acting. I explained that I was very uncomfortable with the fact that she had been texting my husband, not me, about my pregnancy and eating habits, and that when she assumed that she would be granted secrecy and she wasn't, she got mad. Sam explained that in the moment it seemed like a good idea not to text me directly in case she overstepped and made me mad. So she was hoping that if she explained things to my husband, he would be able to relay that information to me casually. She assured that she just wanted to help protect and nurture the baby, and to that I said that this isn't her baby. I am perfectly capable of making sure the baby is healthy. She apologized and explained that truly, she only thought she was doing something good. My husband and I explained that we are just going to distance ourselves a bit because this situation has not only made me uncomfortable, but husband also said that he needs to focus on his wife right now and Sam needs to take a back seat. I don't think she was overly happy with this, but she said okay. She asked if she was still invited to the baby shower, and hubby said it may be best that she skips it, but I explained if she wants, her invitation is still valid and she is still welcome. Sam did text me after the phone call asking if we can meet for coffee, so I'm seeing her tomorrow. I'll update you guys on how that goes. Honestly, I think she was just misguided. She's not a bad person at heart. Thanks. Update 2. This will probably be the last update I do, unless something else happens, but safe to say after today, Sam is out of our lives. Essentially, I did go see Sam, and she was not alone. In fact, she brought her cousin, who is, pause for effect, a therapist. Oh my gosh, she brought the circus! She brought the circus with her. About 5 minutes into Sam's opening monologue, I left. She explained that after hubby and I told her that we wanted low contact, she realized that clearly the stress of expecting a baby had caused me to act irrationally, and she wanted me to have someone to speak to. She even tried to dress it up by saying that, yay, I didn't have to pay for this, yippee! Anyway, I left. Hubby sent her a message saying that we need distance and not to contact us for a while. Edit, this does not mean we are going low contact, we are going no contact. As I stated, she is out of our lives. Sam's a bit irrational right now, and we just want to minimize fallout, hence telling her for a while. Not to psychoanalyze, but honestly, I think Sam needs help. Clearly, she cares, but it's just too much. And honestly, it's insulting how little she thinks that I can look after myself and my baby. Her overbearing personality has its limits, and honestly, I can't take it. Anyway, thank you all for your support. If there is another update, I'll post here. For now, bye! In the comments, Or Juicy says, yeah, I would have noped right out of that conversation too. Good for OP for noping out of the relationship with this person. I'd have stayed and been like, cousin, I'm so glad you're here. I think Sam is having some sort of break and she needs professional help and support. Peace. With how quickly she got her cousin to come with to treat a friend the next day, I'm gonna have to ask for a lot of credentials so I can make a complaint to the state medical board. What kind of therapist worth their salt would agree to this? Only thing I can think of is the cousin didn't know that they were being used as free therapy. OP mentions that Sam is Baptist, so I wonder if the cousin is some sort of faith-based counselor rather than a licensed therapist. They may be more prepared to come and offer guidance to a troubled soul than someone with more formal professional boundaries. You're probably right, although I'm preferring to imagine that the cousin is just a Psych 101 student that let it get to their head just as much as Sam has embraced Nutrition Health 102. I wonder what the therapist cousin made of the visit. Did they know why they were going to give a random person therapy? Were they just worried about Sam? Are they really a therapist? Also, I feel like girl best friend has become much more of a thing in the last year. I don't remember hearing about it anywhere near as much a year ago. Edit to add, I didn't explain it well, but I don't think men having a female best friend is a new thing. I was more thinking of the use of the term girl best friend, and lots of social media posts about discussing it, which feel more recent, like the term boy mum. I feel like a legit therapist wouldn't touch that setup with a 10-foot pole. So either Sam misrepresented the situation to the cousin, oh, I think my friend needs therapy, can you come along and explain what therapy can help with and answer any questions? The cousin is not a licensed therapist, maybe they've had training to be a counselor but skipped the ethics module, or the cousin had no idea and OP left before the cousin could. I prefer to think that this was the clown bringing the whole circus along, and that the cousin was just as crazy as Sam was. I can't believe that OP was giving her a chance in the first update. Like, yes, I know it's reasonable, I know it's the right thing to do, but how do your crazy radars not just go off and be like, this woman doesn't care about me or my husband. She has been boundary stomping out the wazoo. She does not care what I have to say at all. She's just trying to prove a point and push her personal philosophy on me and my baby against what my own doctors have to say. She is a little voodoo witchcraft woman that is giving me bad juju in my life. And I say no to that. Stay away from me, devil woman. You will not be influencing my husband with your trickery, that's for sure. I send you away. Anyway, that's my 2 cents on the situation. I called it from a mile away. Thank God I was right about it this time, because I'm wrong more often than not. Anyway, guys, that's all that Connor has given me time for in this special episode where I'm locked in my jail once again. If you do want to help free me from this prison, you can like, comment, and subscribe, because that will help me get out of here, please. Please, I'm begging you. Anyway, I hope you have a good day, night, sleep, whatever you're up to, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!